Hello again and welcome to Leap of Faith Life. I'm Azahar and I'm so glad that you're here today to check out a little bit more information on tapping. Tapping is extremely helpful for a multitude of different reasons. So if you guys have questions on what this is, if you've heard only a little bit about it, please stay tuned to find out a little bit more. So tapping at its very basic is integrating Chinese medicine with psychology. So if you're thinking about Chinese medicine in that energy is flowing throughout the body in different meridian lines. Now these meridian lines are pathways in the body that take energy and they can get blocked at times due to emotional and physical traumas. Qi is the actual energy that is moved through these meridian lines. So once it gets blocked, when I talked about that blockages, it's the qi that is blocked. It's the energy that is blocked in the meridian line pathways. It needs to be free-flowing in order for us to feel good and pain-free. Now in Ayurvedic therapy, which originates in India, this is what we follow a lot of times in the yogic practice, in the 8 limbs of yoga. And this is the same thing in reference to nadis, our pathways that take this energy and move it along. And prana is the breath or life force or energy that moves through these nadis. Now, I say all this because there's a lot of, sometimes one thing clicks over another. If you have a background in one over the other, it sometimes helps to just hear it in different references. But at its basic core, tapping is taking blocked energy and having it move freely again. You'll see this in acupuncture, so needles. They're moving around energy that is blocked in the body at a basic core level when you're explaining it. And that's based on Chinese medicine. Acupressure, we've talked about before in these other videos that I have. Acupressure is taking points on the body and allowing the same thing without needles, the energy to move freely in the body. Mudras, also what we talk about on my channel here and have different bits of information. Mudras also move along that blocked energy that is stuck. I also call mudras yoga for the hands. Yoga in essence is also moving blocked or stuck energy. So when we're sitting at our desk all day and we need to move the hips a little bit, this energy can get stuck at the hips or in the shoulders or in the neck. And when you're taking and doing yoga postures, you're moving that stuck energy. So I'm using a lot of different examples here to help you kind of hone in on what exactly this tapping energy does and what it transforms and what it takes. You're also doing some talking. So you'll see once I show you a couple of different examples of tapping that you're using whatever's bothering you, pain in the body or stress, and you are identifying that, you are looking at that, you are holding space for that in order for it to move through. Because a lot of the times when trauma happens in the body, or when trauma happens, the body holds onto it to be helpful for us. It's gonna take that and put it into the shoulders and say, okay, I'm gonna allow you to function, to go on to work and do the things you need to do, but that trauma has to go somewhere. That stress, that anxiety, that panic, that has to go somewhere. So that's when shoulder tension happens, or perhaps low back pain. When something happens that's an emotionally triggering situation, you might have a bigger reaction than someone that didn't have that emotional pain or trauma around the same issue. You're taking that thing that bothers you, that pain or that emotional pain, and you are taking it out into the open, out from the dark space, putting it into the light and saying, I honor you, I see you, and I can let you go now. Because a lot of times you just need to look at something in order to have it feel like it can release out. Now a lot of times there is a little bit more work that needs to be involved in releasing that fully, but the first big step is taking it out into the light and saying, this is here and this is a hurt and this is something that I would like to let go of. I'm honoring space for it to allow it to continue moving on. The great thing about tapping is that it can be done anytime, anywhere for the most part. And I've also had questions of whether or not it's safe for children, and yes, children can do this, and I would recommend it for all different types of things like I was talking about, from PTSD to small children. Try it out, see what works for you and how it works for you. There are a lot of different types of tapping, so you'll notice if you go with one practitioner, they might be doing certain things, and maybe they're doing it with 2 hands, Another practitioner might do a long speech, a long talking through you, because there's different ways of doing it, talking through like you'd be talking to a friend. So one practitioner is not going to actually be the exact same as the next, but they're all doing the same idea of moving along the energy, and see which one works for you and which one resonates more. So the first step when you are doing tapping is to get a big glass of water and making sure you're taking sips of that before and after. Making sure, since you're moving the energy around, that you are supporting the body. But after that, you take whatever you are wanting to address. So it can be anything from a mental block in the mind. A lot of times we will self-sabotage by, okay, I want to write this book. I'm going to sit down and write this book. And we've got 3 chapters written and we procrastinate and we put it away and we don't want to look at it again. There's some emotional blocks that are happening within the brain, which happen when we procrastinate or push things off or kind of self-sabotage a little bit or a lot. That happens a lot with anxiety, things that are building up in the mind and make it so real that it starts to have a visceral body physical reaction. All the way to, how can I make more money? How can I stop sabotaging myself for when I pay off all my bills, then a new bill comes and I'm still stuck at the same level, or I want to fall in love, or I want to have children. Pick a subject, you're picking the thing, but you're taking this on a scale of 1 to 10. You're saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much, 10 being the worst, like I'm in the hospital, I need you to give me some painkillers, like this is awful, I need surgery. That's 10, all the way to 0, which is, I'm fine, I don't feel anything in my shoulder. What are you talking about? So you're rating this right now. How do you feel in that space? We do this because a lot of times it's really hard to navigate how much better we feel at the end of a session. We can, a lot of times after a session when we're feeling really good, say, oh, you know, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad on the scale. This is a very tangible way to say it was a 7 and now it's a this. So you'll do the different points throughout the body. The first one is the karate chop point. So if you're going to karate chop something, it's right here on the outside of the hand. Now you can choose any hand, it doesn't matter, but you'll take, you can do 4 fingers, you can do 2 fingers. Sometimes I find myself doing 3, but you're just hitting this point along the side of the hand. The next point is the top of the head, and you'll kind of feel, I'll have you look around and kind of feel for that tender spot. You'll kind of feel it when you touch it. That's the top point, the crown. And then you're gonna go to the eyebrow, so it's just kind of right on the outside of the eyebrow here. And again, it can be on either side that you're going through. And then from there, it's a little soft spot on the side of the eye. It kind of dips in just a little bit. You can feel it, feel for it. And then the next spot is underneath the eye. You want to be really gentle there. So a lot of times I just take 2 fingers, but it's just under the eye. And then right underneath the nose, kind of in this little Cupid's, what do they call that? Cupid's bow? Cupid's arrow? There's something here. But it's kind of on the top of the teeth area. You'll hit there, and I like to take 2 fingers. And then right where your teeth meet your gums, it'll be right here on the chin. And then you have the collarbones. It'll be right underneath the collarbone. And again, these little points are a little bit tender because that's an energy point within the body as far as the meridians or nadis or pathways in the body. And then finally, it'll be underneath the arm, or just kind of, you look around for this, it's like a soft spot underneath the arm. And you'll go in this order, and sometimes practitioners go in an opposite order, different order, or they'll use both hands. It's kind of up to you to kind of feel around for what works best for you. There's also a continuation going through the hand and through the fingers, but today I'll just show you those main points. So from there you have your setup statement, and the setup statement is, even though we're going to talk about that shoulder pain, even though I have this shoulder pain, I still deeply love and respect myself. Now from there you're moving through, and you're going to stop and shorten it to this pain, and go through each of the points, and you're hitting each of the points about 5 times. Now you don't need to count and have it be specific, but you're feeling for around that 5 times, and you're just repeating this pain on each of the different points. Now, a lot of times people don't want to say negative statements, and this isn't saying negative statements for like you're going to manifest that, but it's a way of kind of talking through what might be blocking, and then leaving it and letting it go rather than circulating it through the mind, because it's going to circulate through the mind regardless if you're wanting to say it or not. So we're taking it one time and pushing it out. So you will do 3 rounds to start out with, and then I'd have you check in with that emotional scale that you did at the beginning, the 0 to 10, check in. And if it still went from a 7 to like a 5, then do 3 more rounds. So in the next few videos that I have specific examples like anxiety and pain, and we'll be tapping through together, but this video is just to give you a little bit of background information. Remember to like and subscribe. Helps this video be seen by more individuals and helps me to know which videos that you guys really like and resonate with. Leave any questions down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.